Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 12 of the Apron Bumps Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Braden Mayhew, alongside my two wonderful co-hosts, Mr. Brandon Moyes and Mr. Gabe Nozid. The trio is back for a prediction for the upcoming NXT Takeover In Your House event. It is this Sunday, so it's 2 nights from this recording. 48 hours away already. I can't believe this. I remember when this show was announced like 3 weeks ago, a month ago.
Oh,
now it's
so
like
hyped.
Yeah,
Holy
now
crap.
it's already here. Now
That's a very good card.
It's yeah. I mean, that's how. I mean, all these cards are usually put. When Triple H is putting together cards for his brand's big shows, they're always usually something special. So, a lot more special than the million pay-per-views every month, including Backlash, which is apparently set to have the greatest wrestling match of all time. I don't know if you guys.
Greatest. Wow.
I don't know if you guys have heard about that advertising, but I doubt that match will be anywhere near as good as maybe the best match on this card. So,
yeah, exactly.
that's just the worst. Like, what an unbelievable burden to put on poor Edge and Randy Orton's shoulders there by making them live up to an unbelievable standard they'll never live up to.
Good at I don't know, mat wrestling, so it's gonna be interesting.
So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I will not be doing predictions or review for that show because it's just a B pay-per-view of the summer. The next time I do a WWE show for predictions will be frickin' SummerSlam. That'll be the next time I do a prediction and review for that company's main shows. So we're going to talk about In Your House. So what's interesting about that is In Your House was originally a series of cheaper pay-per-views that WWE, then WWF, did in the 90s. So they could do like a pay-per-view a month, but it wasn't as big as, say, like their big fours. They did them like kind of in between like the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, and it was like cards that were booked with like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and Diesel and all those guys and Razor, of course, Razor Ramon were all booked in these spots. So it's funny that they're bringing that name back, but the only reason they're bringing it back is because of quarantine, because everybody is literally in their house. So like that's the reason they brought it back, was for like a tongue-in-cheek type thing, but it's also an homage to the history of In Your House shows, which, I mean, I'm pretty sure Triple H probably had a few of those when he first started as Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He would have been competing on In Your House shows because it started in 95, and that was the year that Triple H debuted with the company. So it's just a nice little throwback, nice little tongue-in-cheek name given the situation right now, and I liked it. It was a nice little throwback to 90s WWF, and so that's what it's called. And apparently it's taking place in Full Sail. Apparently.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
It's advertised to be taking place inside Full Sail University, the original home for NXT. So I guess they're taping in there. I guess it's going to be
So
empty.
It's even in their house in a way.
Yeah, it is in their house in a way, unless it's false advertising. But the venue currently scheduled for the show is Full Sail in Winter Park, Florida. So.
Well, is it? Oh, yeah, so it's in Florida, yeah.
Yep.
So it's still close to the performance centers.
Yep. Well, I mean, this is the place where they film all the NXT shows. Just usually they have a crowd for it, but obviously, given the circumstance, there will not be any people watching this show. I mean, other than the plants. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have the performance center plants there, but.
Do you think they're going to do like Raw and put people in?
Yeah, I do think that. Yeah, I do think they're going to do that. So, I mean, you can't just do it for weekly television and then a big takeover show and not have nobody in there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like they've been doing it for Raw, NXT, and SmackDown for the last month or 3 weeks. So I definitely expect performance center plants to be reacting to shit, which at least gives the show a little bit more fucking energy than the fucking sterile, quiet shit we dealt with for. Like, almost like, it was pretty much 2 months of that until they finally decided, well, let's put some of our personnel at fucking ringside. Only took 2 months for Vince to, like, AEW been doing it since, like, the quarantine started, and, like, it took WWE 2 months to figure out, oh, maybe we should put some plants here. I mean, I think everybody was bitching at them to do that, like, from the start, and it took, like, 2 months. I guess that's just Vince, eh? So we're going to crack down on this here card. So I tried in my best. I racked it in my brain about 1,000,000 times last night. I'm like, how are they going to put this card together? So I kind of based it off of the Portland card and kind of built from there. So I'm going to assume they're going to start with a hot opener. And in the absence of a tag team title match, which is usually the NXT standard for opening your takeover card, is to put the tag titles on the line and have a hot tag team match to start the show. What they did last time at TakeOver in Portland was they had Keith Lee defend the NXT North American title in the opener against Dominik Dijakovic, and I expect the same on Sunday, except this time Keith Lee will be defending the NXT North American title against Johnny Gargano. That has the recipe to be a fantastic match, and yeah, that is a hot opener if I've ever seen one, given both guys involved. I expect unbelievably huge things from this match. Keith Lee is one of the most athletic, best working big men in probably the entire industry in the modern day. And everybody knows, or I mean, if I haven't sang his praises enough, I've mentioned it in the chat to these guys, but I think the world of Johnny Gargano as a wrestler. I think when it comes to maybe people signed under the WWE banner, I think he might be the best American worker that they have. I mean, other than like Daniel Bryan or AJ Styles, I mean the main event guys. When it comes to, I think he might be the absolute best worker in NXT. I don't think I'm going over the line there. I'm a huge fan of his work. He's given me many fantastic matches that I've held dear over the last, say, three or 4 years or so. And when I heard that this was booked for the show, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be something. I look very much forward to this match. I think it might be like one of the best matches of the show, given who's involved. So this whole thing started with Keith Lee and Mia Yim are actually a real life couple, and then after Candice turned heel, costing Tommaso Ciampa his end war thing, the cinematic match he had with Gargano a while ago, they've been doing this heel power couple thing, and then Keith Lee and Mia Yim have kind of challenged them, and they've been so a lot of people thought they were gonna have a mixed tag match at the show, but thankfully it's actually just a singles match between Keith and Gargano for the North American title. And I'm going to, again, Johnny Gargano has not won on a takeover since he won the NXT Championship. He won the vacant title at TakeOver New York, beating Adam Cole in that classic 2 out of 3 falls match, one of my favorite NXT matches ever, if not my favorite NXT match ever. And then he ended up losing the belt to Cole in his first title defense at TakeOver 25, over a year ago now. Then he lost his rematch in that 3 Stages of Hell style match in Toronto. Then he was originally booked to face Finn Balor at War Games, but got hurt, so he missed that show. Then they eventually did it in Portland, where he lost to Finn Balor. So Johnny has not won on a big stage in forever, and I'm going to be the first to say it. I don't expect him to be the one to take the belt off Keith Lee. I expect him to have a fantastic match. I expect Johnny to give it his all, but he will lose in the end, and I fully expect Keith Lee to retain the NXT North American title. What do you guys say about this match? What do you think how do you think it's gonna deliver, and what is your personal outcomes for it from both of you?
Gabe, you want to take the floor first?
I'll take it. Yeah. On paper, I feel like Keith Lee could take it, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Johnny's gonna take this one because I guess he's a heel now, and I guess he can fight a little dirty, and then that's what really gets him the advantage, because he's always been the babyface, only do good or whatever. So since he's the rebel heart now, heel, I guess this is his chance to show off his heel powers and take the belt from him and be what is it, 2-time North American
He would
champion?
be.
Yep. So I'll go out and say Johnny winning dirty, and then maybe Keith Lee if they want to. I mean, Riddle and Dijakovic just went up for no reason, so I think Keith Lee can bring in a lot of viewers because he's just that enigmatic. I can't think of anything to bring ratings in other than Keith Lee's body in Raw or SmackDown. So yeah, I think Johnny will take this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Gabe. I think Johnny will take it, but I think for different reasons. I don't want to spoil my predictions later.
Okay.
I think Johnny Gargano takes it. I don't know if he'll do anything dirty. I think it's going to be like you said, Braden, a classic match.
Well, I mean, just because it has a dirty finish doesn't mean it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
No, but I think he'll win clean. But yeah, I just think there's bigger things for Keith Lee. I think Keith Lee's going to keep rising among the roster. I think he's done with the North American title. I think there's a bigger picture for him.
But do you see that bigger picture staying in NXT or going to Raw or SmackDown?
No, I say NXT.
Okay.
I'd say he's probably in NXT probably till I want to say maybe after between Survivor Series and Royal Rumble.
Oh, okay.
Well, my problem with that, Brandon, is Keith Lee losing clean to Johnny. Is that believable to you?
No. Depends
I don't
on how,
think so.
I mean, it could be depending on how it's booked, but
I mean, if he were to lose dirty, I don't think it would be Gargano. I think it would be a Rhea and Yim at ringside fighting, and he gets distracted.
But at the same time, Brandon, if you're really trying to get Johnny over as a douchebag heel, wouldn't a cheap win make him more of a heel than winning like a noble hero?
Yeah, that's a good point. But I don't think, like, personally, I don't think he'll pull off anything dirty. I think it would be more Candice LeRae helping him.
Oh, that could happen too, but that's still like if she causes a
Yeah,
distraction and
that's
he
still
rolls
like a dirty
and he
win
rolls
either
him
way.
up, it's still like he won cheaply, but you know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna bring up something to you guys. So Gargano flirted with being a heel when he was Aleister Black's attacker. I don't know if any of you guys remember that from like.
I remember that.
Okay, so that lasted for one takeover show, or maybe two, because then he got moved into a thing with Ricochet. But Aleister ended up winning that, and that was Johnny's first match as a quasi heel. Here he is in his first takeover match as a quasi heel again against Keith Lee, who's got a ton of momentum.
Is he quasi? I think he's like a full on heel now.
Well, I guess maybe. You don't think he was a full on heel when they paired him with Aleister Black attacking a guy from behind and all that is kind of heelish, you know.
Johnny really needed, Tommaso Ciampa's like head on a platter, so I feel like that should have I think he was a quasi heel for sure. If he was really dirty, he would have done like dirtier tactics,
Yeah, I agree with that, yeah. I think he just was so mad about Tommaso Ciampa. He wasn't a full heel, but I think he's a full heel now.
Yeah, he's a full heel for sure right now.
Okay, so
with the whole music change and everything.
All right, so you think like to really take advantage of like his heel status, they need to give him the belt. Essentially, is what you guys think?
Yeah,
I think that, but I also think it's what it has to do with the main event picture and why Keith Lee is going to lose.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, so that's interesting. So I'm the only one sticking with Keith Lee retaining the belt. Both my co-hosts are arguing that he's going to lose. That's the point of this whole and how. Yeah. So that's the prediction for that. I mean, we'll see who's right. We got 2 to my 1, so we'll see who ends up prevailing. I mean, it is either going to be Brandon and Gabe will be right, or I'm going to be right? So it's either the 2 of them to my 1 or my 1 that ends up prevailing, but we'll see about that. After that, I slotted in the women for the next match. It's a 6-woman tag match. Mia Yim, Shotzi Blackheart, and Tegan Nox teaming up to take on the heel team of Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez. They kind of like, it's been Mia feuding with Candice, but then Shotzi and Tegan have been at war with like Dakota and Raquel. And I guess instead of just like they just decided to combine the 2 feuds together to get all 6 women on the card, which is fine. I mean, the girls deserve some spotlight. I have no problem with doing that. But it's like there's been 2 separate women feuds outside the title picture.
Yeah, these are 2 different like storylines in one match. Yeah,
they're combining it for one bout. And I had a kind of a hard time deciding, but after what Brandon kind of said, I expect the action to be pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of, Raquel's probably the only one that's super, super green. I don't know about Shotzi. She's might be a little green too, but like at the same time, they're in there with like a bunch of other like pros, and everybody's going to have their spot, and it's easier to like look at like the Shield and Wyatt family 6-mans, where if they're structured right with the right people and you accentuate everybody's strengths to the best degree, I mean, this could be a lot of fun. And I was thinking the heels might win, but I think they might just I'm actually just going to side with Mia's team to pull off the win and have like a babyface win for the women here on this takeover. I originally thought the heel women, but I think the babyfaces will prevail in this match. That's my prediction. And I mean, it just barely edged over the heels winning, because I did kind of think about this for a bit last night, but I think like Brandon brought up a good point of how like kind of they're getting high on Mia Yim lately on television, how they've been using her and all that they might want to give her a little something on a takeover stage, and having her lead a babyface team to victory might be the way to do that. So that's my prediction for this 6-woman tag match. What say you guys?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's Mia Yim, Blackheart, and I forget the other girl now.
Tegan.
Yeah, Tegan. Yeah, Tegan Nox. To me, I think they have Mia Yim's been on fire lately. They're really high on Shotzi Blackheart, and they're really high on Tegan Nox. So that's the way I'm going. And I think Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez they're a long-term project, Triple H and the NXT crew. So I don't see them prevailing in big matches like this yet till the near future.
Well, not to mention that they already prevailed for a long time. Like Tegan's lost like due to their shenanigans for a while. You got to give her a little something, right? Especially on a takeover stage. So maybe this is where Tegan gets one up on Kai and Raquel. This would be a way to do that.
Yeah,
right?
And honestly, I think I don't know how we'll predict the women's later, but I think you take Mia Yim, Shotzi Blackheart, and Tegan Knox, I think you put them. I think they're going to be in the mix going forward from now till probably the fall. They'll probably be in the mix for the women's title after this.
Yeah, we're going into the winter, close to the winter.
Yeah.
So.
Well, now my question is, before I give you my prediction for both of you guys, who's gonna like take the pin and who's gonna win over them and how you with this? Because I really don't know between these two.
Well,
I think Gonzalez would take the pin.
I don't think she's gonna take the pin. They're
That's
gonna protect
weird.
her. She'll be taken out on the outside, and like Kyle get rolled up, or Candice will.
Yeah, if the faces win, I think Kai is gonna be the one.
Dakota's probably. I would say she's. I mean, if I had to rank it, it'd probably be Dakota most likely, then maybe Candice, and then Raquel. I don't expect her to get pinned or submitted at all.
Who's pinning Kai then?
Tegan.
You should have Tegan do that to finally get a win over her at a takeover. I think that's more appropriate.
Okay, I'll go with the faces then, because I really can't decide.
But like
or it could be Mia Yim pinning Candice LeRae.
Yeah, but like, you know, I'll just go with Tegan getting the win over Dakota, and it's still a win for Mia. She's on the winning team, but I mean they could do that.
Exactly.
So say if Tegan isn't pinning Dakota, then it's Mia pinning Candice or making her submit or whatever. So, and I don't expect Raquel to take the fall. They're gonna protect her in this thing. She's gonna be a part of the losing team, but she ain't gonna be pinned or submitted. That's what they do with these big enforcer people for a while, especially in NXT. They keep them looking strong and that's how I see things going out. So, but yeah, I bet like before we started talking about this game, you looked at that match and thought like, who the hell is gonna win this thing? I bet.
Yeah, I really didn't know. Like when you texted the group chat about the match, I'm like, okay, I really don't know who would win this.
Yeah, so, I had the hardest time.
It wouldn't really matter.
I had the hardest time. I was like, yeah, babyface could, heels could. What's that, Brandon?
That's the best thing about that. Is when you put a match like that together, you're like, I don't know who's going to win, so you're expecting good things from it.
Like, you got to think, I'm just going with the baby faces by a slight edge, but I'm really admitting and saying I really don't know. I would not be surprised if the heels won either, right? So, like, I really...
it's a big 50-50. Like, this is a coin
like,
flip.
I'll go with the baby faces with a 51 over, like, 49. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. So, but yeah, I expect it, like, again, this to be put together real nice. Everybody will have their shine. It could be some very fun stuff. And good for all these ladies getting on a big stage like this. That's got to be a big deal for most of them. So,
yeah, for sure.
Definitely, I think it's Shotzi's first takeover ever.
Oh, yeah.
You know? They're really high on that girl, too. I mean, she's the one that literally Shayna Baszler.
Yeah. She even went on the Royal Rumble, too. So,
yeah. So, and also, I'm going to bring this up. Don't you find it odd that, like, big prospects like Candice and Dakota, who you thought were going to be, like, big-time baby faces, are, like, huge heels in the women's division now? They just turn them both.
It's funny that they're a team, too, because, like, Dakota was a heel towards Candice not too long ago.
Not too long ago, yeah. Like, you know, making her do a 2-on-5 team at War Games by screwing over Tegan and making them a woman short.
Yeah, Candice should still have some bad blood for me.
But you know, when you turn and you turn away, you forget everything that the other heel did to you. And since you're both heels, you're besties now, right? Because you're on the same side.
Wrestling.
So that's wrestling in a nutshell. So... But yeah, I just find it odd because I thought those two would be like big-time beloved baby faces for a long time, and now they're two big heels in the women's division. It's interesting. You could turn anybody, I suppose.
Yeah, I really expected Candice to be like the baby face after Bayley.
Well, how about Dakota with how she was taken out by Shayna, having her arm destroyed, and she was just like the biggest like underdog small woman on the roster, and just like very likable.
There's Tegan now, and then I'm not gonna lie, I'm really digging Dakota as a heel for some reason. I didn't expect this to be a cool thing for me, but I'm liking it a lot.
You know what? Triple H could have looked at it and said Dakota's not getting any push as a face. Let's see what she does as a heel. And like you just said, Gabe, you're digging her as a heel, so
I'm really liking it.
It's got to be working, right?
Oh yeah, well it was clearly done to freshen her up. I think that's abundantly clear.
I've been like really invested in her more than I was when she was a face, which is weird.
I mean, when you watch War Games, guaranteed you, out of all the people that were there and all the people watching War Games, how many people predicted that she was going to turn? Probably not a lot.
Some people did, but like I don't think that they thought it was a huge possibility. But I had heard very small rumblings of it, but I didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah, of course, right?
Because like
think that would happen.
No, because like on top of that, that was when she wasn't even involved in the match. Remember, they put her in right before the takeover happened. Yeah. So like going into that show for all the predictions, like Mia was still booked to be in that War Games match. Mm-hmm. They only threw Dakota on the pre-show before the Takeover era, when she got thrown on the card, you thought, oh, for sure she's going to be competing like a babyface. I mean,
Yeah,
they're doing an injury angle with Mia, like, of course. And then it was like one of the most shocking things ever when she attacked Tegan, and that was a really well done turn, I thought. Like, everything about that turn.
Her heel turn. I keep forgetting that it was a really good heel turn.
It was fantastic. And then because now like Rhea's team was like down 5-2, and you thought the baby faces were screwed, and Dakota Kai's this evil person taking out her best friend's knee, this vengeful. It was awesome. Everything about that turn I thought was really well executed. And This all led to this 6-woman tag match, and I believe I'm just barely going with the baby faces over the heels, and I think we're all in agreement of that, gentlemen?
Yeah, we are. Yep.
So we're going to move on.
Face for the clean sweep.
Yep. So we move on midway through. I just kind of pegged Finn Balor against Damian Priest in this middle of the show spot. So this started when Balor was set to have a match with Velveteen Dream like a month or so ago, and before that could happen, he was laid out by a mystery assailant backstage, and then Finn made it his mission to find out who this mystery attacker was, and he did a bunch of promos on him, and then I think Priest attacked him from behind on a edition of NXT not too long ago, and he was revealed to be the guy who done it, the guy who attacked Finn Balor backstage. So they've been slotted. Clearly, I mean, they're very high on Damian Priest to an extent. They try to get him on big takeover shows. They're trying to keep him in a decent spot in the middle of the show. Like, he's not quite in the main event scene, but he's like not really struggling for television time either. They've always found, since they gave him a new name, because if you remember, guys, he was briefly on NXT television as Punishment Martinez.
Yep.
And then
episodes.
And then they took him off and they gave him a new name and they re-debuted him. And they've been really kind of using him decently for a while. So due to the fact that Walter is, due to travel bans, is stuck in Europe, basically Finn's program that they had planned for him throughout the spring got scrapped due to the COVID travel restrictions. And so I think they just thought about like who to give Balor as an opponent, and I guess Priest probably just came up. And Finn very much a anti-hero like tweener these days, eh? Like he was like a full-on heel for a while. Now he's like facing heels and babyface at the same time. He's like middle of the pack. He's like,
I think
you know what I mean?
It's really good. Yeah, I think you're a really good wrestler if like you can just walk in and like you can be both a heel or a face. Just I don't know. It's just they're just that enigmatic and charismatic.
Yeah, and Finn commands attention. He's got a great presence, and I mean I like the fact that he's like angry a lot, not smiling as much as he was on like Raw and SmackDown.
Definitely.
When he was on the main roster.
He's definitely Prince.
He's the Prince, that's for sure. And now he's having that match against Damian Priest, who, like Keith Lee I mentioned earlier, Damian's a very athletic big man. He's like, he kind of, I don't want to like compare him to The Undertaker in a sense, but like in terms of like the height and how he works, I kind of gets, I think he's more athletic than Taker on the whole, but like I get kind of he kind of reminds me of, say, like somebody like The Undertaker in terms of how he works in the ring. And I expect this to be a very good match, a decent match here in the middle of the show. And I do expect Finn Balor to take the win, because if we're going to go back to his first takeover in nearly 4 years, he beat Matt Riddle, of all people, at War Games. Riddle had to fill in for Johnny Gargano, who was Balor's original opponent for that show, and they filled the Riddle in for Gargano because Gargano got hurt. And then they ended up doing the Gargano match in Portland, which, again, Finn won. So those are 2 huge wins back-to-back, and I think Damian Priest is a level below those guys. I don't mean to slag him, but in terms of like the star power and how they're used on NXT television, I think they're those two. I mean, Riddle just went to SmackDown, or is going to be debuting on SmackDown this week, and Gargano is challenging for the secondary title. So I would say that Priest is below those guys. So if Finn beat those guys in like 2 takeovers in a row, I don't see him losing to Damian Priest. So I say very much Finn Balor takes the win here. What say you guys?
Oh, you're gonna hate my prediction.
Go ahead.
I think ahead all the time when I do predictions, and I think, like you said, Walter's stuck in the UK because the COVID restrictions and that. If Finn Balor won, what would he do next? Like that's my thing, is what would he do next?
I could do a prediction, but it contradicts my main event prediction. But I could give you a prediction of what he could do after beating him.
Well, my thing is they're high on Damian Priest, and they put him against Finn Balor. I think when it comes to Finn Balor, since it's his second time around in NXT, I don't think it matters if he loses. I don't think the NXT fans are going to be like, oh, he lost to Damian Priest, and where's he going to go from here? I think he could suffer a loss. I honestly think this is a stepping stone for Damian Priest, but I think it's going to go as Damian Priest is. I don't think he's going to win clean. I think this is where the dirty part comes into NXT. The takeover. I think he'll win dirty, and then I think you'll see it continue on NXT TV, and Balor will probably get a win, or if they do it 2 more times, he'll get a couple wins and he'll get over Damian Priest on NXT TV. I just think they're going to put Damian Priest over on Takeover when everybody's watching.
It's a decent prediction, and at least it's contradictory. Gabe, what about you? What do you think about this match? And
I believe that sounds really good, Brandon. If Damian Priest were to win, like, it'd be a dirty win. I didn't think about that, and yeah, that sounds believable. But the way I'm thinking is, like, it's Finn Balor. If you're gonna make him lose, it has to be on a much, I guess, bigger stage, in my opinion, because they have not been, stopping the Finn Balor train ever since he arrived in NXT. So it's just that if he were to lose here, I don't know what will happen next for Finn. It'll look, I don't know. To me, I think Damian will look weird, equally to, I guess, what's their name, Private Party, when they beat the Young Bucks that won Dynamite. I didn't believe that. So I think Damian Priest, I feel like he still needs to work up the food chain. So him losing to me wouldn't be a big deal. But just build him up more, in my opinion.
Like, build him up more before giving him that big win, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
right?
before giving it to fighting Balor, because I still don't really find him believable yet. But he does have a great presence, and just Damian still needs to be built up, in my opinion, in the NXT brand. So Finn Balor just takes it.
How do you think you expect the match to be good, though? Because I think it should probably be pretty good.
I think it's going to be a great one. I think all of these matches are going to be great
in their own way.
Yeah, the only thing I'm a bit iffy about, I guess, would be the women's match, but even they're good workers too.
So
I agree with that.
So this is the opposite of the North American title match. It's me and Gabe on the Finn Balor train, with Brandon being the contrarian with
Finn Balor is
Damian
like
Priest.
one of my favorite wrestlers, so I just know like how he works.
I'm just going based off his booking from the last few takeovers. That's all I'm doing. It's just how he was used, and he got big wins, and I see him. Like, I mean, I don't think they're intentionally trying to do a takeover streak with him, but I see him getting a third straight win on a takeover stage. I see it coming, especially since Damian's only in this position because Walter is in Europe. Like, that's. I don't want to say he's a filler opponent, but it's kind of feels like that. You know what I mean?
When was the feud first started for Damian and Finn?
It was like maybe 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 3 weeks to a month ago max.
So it's not even like a big feud too. So like a 3-week period, and then to beat Finn would be, in my opinion, unbelievable.
Yeah. So that's that. We'll see. It's another 2-1 scenario. It's me and Gabe on Balor winning, and then Brandon being the contrary and saying Priest is going to get a big takeover win. So from there, I just figure that this would be the fourth match of the card. We've got Tommaso Ciampa against Karrion Kross, the former Killer Kross, and Lucha Underground or whatever was the last big promotion.
TNA.
TNA as well, yeah, or Impact, we should say. It's not TNA anymore. Impact.
Impact is a weird name for a brand. I think it's a good show, like it was before, but as a brand, I don't know.
So Kross kind of had like an Easter egg debut with Scarlett in the Gargano Ciampa like cinematic thing that kind of had like a little brief appearance of people going, oh, are they going to debut? And then Ciampa ended up having to come out, and he said that Gargano was the better man, and Karrion Kross attacked him, and Kross has been booked to like destroy talents on television leading up to this, and they've announced that he will be facing Ciampa on a takeover stage, and clearly they are super high on Karrion Kross.
Yep.
That is abundantly clear. I mean, his entrance is unbelievable. If you haven't seen it yet, I would say take a look at how his entrance has been handled on NXT television in the last few weeks. He's got Tommaso Ciampa in his first takeover match, who, may I remind everybody, is a former NXT champion and has been a staple of the brand for the last, we'll say, like at least 3 to 4 years. And is just kind of and just is removed from an NXT championship feud with Adam Cole and a high up blow off with Johnny Gargano, and now he's against Karrion Kross and Kross's first takeover match ever. So they're putting him with a main eventer right off the bat, and I believe with that kind of backing, in the end, this should be maybe the most predictable, I guess, match of the show.
Yep.
Because to me, that booking dictates that Karrion Kross is going to beat Ciampa in his first takeover appearance. I think that
now, if this was the main card, I'd go for Tommaso.
Yeah, but this ain't the main card, buddy. Like with the way this has been booked, you know, I'd be shocked if Kross lost this match.
So this is the way I see it: is you guys will obviously watch AEW pay-per-view, and you've seen the Casino Battle Royal with Brian Cage.
I did. Yeah, we did.
Dismantled everybody.
Yep.
Well, he was out for a good 5 minutes.
Yeah,
or 10 minutes.
But while he was in the ring, he was booked as a killer. Yes, I get that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen in this match.
Do you think he's going to like have a dominant win over Ciampa? It's not even going to go long, or like?
No, I think it'll go long. I think Ciampa will get hits in, but I'd say 90% of the match is going to be how putting Kross over as that he's unbearable to beat. He's hard to knock down.
So basically, he's going to dominate Ciampa. Ciampa will fight and fight and fight until he fights no more, and then he beats him in the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So Tommaso's it's gonna be a long match in terms of Ciampa's gonna sell and sell and sell and sell. He'll get a few comebacks, sell and sell and sell. Kross wins in the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if he even hits one of his finishers and Kross gets right back up or he kicks out at one. But I think it's going to be something like that.
Okay. What were you about to say, Gabe?
Yeah, this is gonna be a very story-driven match and a 5-star caliber type of match.
Yeah.
This is supposed to start something, and of course that's gonna be Karrion Kross's like dominant streak as of now. And I'm gonna fantasy book real quick. I feel like Tommaso's gonna lose like he lost like John Cena to Brock Lesnar, and then he might have to go to Johnny for some help or something. I don't know, but. Yeah, Karrion Kross is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with.
You know what, Gabe? I like the way you think because I've been saying. You can even ask Brady. I've been saying it for 2 years. They got to be putting DIY back together sometime soon.
Something because it's like a very interesting like mixture too because Tommaso is clearly like the heel and he's not the face. Sorry, and he's gonna be losing like I think he's gonna lose like John Cena did to Brock.
Yeah.
So just going back to Johnny for some. Questions and answers, and then.
So, Gabe, I'm gonna ask you this. So, by losing like Cena did to Brock, you think it's gonna be a squash that's prolonged? Because that was an interesting match, right? Like that Cena match was not over in 2 seconds. He got beat up for a long time and had no offense for a long time, and then he got pinned.
If anything, I could see like a kayfabe injury from Kross, like go for the knee since that's something Tommaso had problems with, or maybe the neck. Like there's so many ways you can make Tommaso look so weak against Karrion because you can tell Karrion's gonna do something to Tommaso in this match. So
I just think
this is very interesting.
I just think with the way he's been positioned already in his initial months that Triple H must be like super high on this guy. Like that's abundantly clear, and I think to put him against Ciampa in his first takeover match, they're doing that for a reason, and it's to give him a huge win over a veteran main event presence, and that is going to make him.
He's going to lose though.
Yeah,
that's what we're wondering.
Yeah, well, I mean that's to be determined, but I think we're all in agreement that on this brand, with how this has been booked, Karrion Kross will get the win over Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh, 100%.
I just can't wait to see how they pull it off because it can go in so many great directions.
Very true. So it's going to be interesting. I look forward to it. As said, it's not going to be like the 5-star classic or anything like that. But like it's got that intrigue, like when the Fiend was finally going to have
that, and
his
maybe
first
some
match,
like Cody versus Dustin like vibes, maybe.
So. It's going to be interesting, and we'll see how it goes together. I haven't seen much of Kross's work, so like I'm not sure how
really good in the ring.
I'm not sure how he is as a worker because much of what I've seen on NXT have been squashes, and his matches haven't gone all that long. And I guess if this goes along, or if it's made like that Cena Lesnar match, that's going to be a lot of domination, right?
He's honestly like Brian Cage, just a little toned down with like the high flying part.
Okay.
But he's honestly like Brian Cage, yeah.
Well, we'll give this is a huge opportunity for him. This is a big deal, and it should be definitely very interesting. I'm sure it's one of the most intriguing matches on the card, just based on who's involved and how Kross has been presented so far, which has been phenomenal for a new talent who's been on NXT for literally a cup of coffee at this point. So it's if you're getting that kind of a spotlight already, they plan on doing big things with you on the brand. That's for darn sure. So then what I have in the penultimate position, and usually this always is given, the second to last match is usually always the NXT Women's Championship bout. And they have a triple threat match booked for the show. Charlotte Flair to defend against Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. And I'm sure everybody's going to love my opinion on this match. And by that, I mean everybody's going to hate it. Everybody's going to hate my opinion of it. But I actually expect big things from this triple threat, given who's involved. I expect this to be also one of the better matches of the show. I expect this to at least be second best or whatever. I have as much high hopes for this as I do Lee and Gargano for the North American title. This should be something special. And with it being a triple threat, I see this booked for one reason and one reason alone, and you guys can be fair to argue with me. But I believe it's being done to prolong the Charlotte-Rhea rivalry on NXT. Io is there as just a third person who's going to take a fall. And wow. Charlotte is going by hook or crook, going to steal a pin from Rhea, like any usual heel champion would, to just barely scrape by the skin of her teeth and retain the title through the triple threat, and it continues Rhea and Charlotte throughout the summer. And that is my prediction. I am sticking to it, and yeah, that's the match should be great. But that's what I think is going to happen here. And
so I agree with your opinion in a sort of a way. I agree that Charlotte and Rhea's feud is going to continue throughout the summer, and I think it'll probably be on SummerSlam. But I don't think they win. I think Io wins, but I think I don't know how it's going to happen. I think, Rhea and Charlotte are going to be fighting in the ring, and then Io will catch one of them, or they'll do something to one another, and Io will get the pin. And she'll squeak out the win, but it won't matter because they'll be in their feud. And I think with Becky leaving Raw and having a child, there's not a lot of big stars on Raw, so I think those two will jump up.
Well, they got Asuka.
Well, they have Asuka, but after Nia Jax and after I would think Shayna Baszler, after Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, who would you give Asuka? Right?
But going back to the well with Charlotte is just like we've been there, done that. You know,
and they have been putting Rhea on Raw a good amount of times. Too.
Yeah, but that's my thing is I don't think Asuka's going to hold the title long. I think she'll probably end up losing it to Rhea or Charlotte, and that's going to be your match.
At least not Charlotte. Oh, that'll be.
No,
I could see it though, but
I would not even want Asuka losing to Rhea this soon. I want Asuka to have a decent reign with that belt, man. She's had to how many?
Decent reign, yeah.
I mean.
I just think after Becky leaving and it's such a high level talent, I can't see Charlotte and Rhea sticking on NXT. I can't see it.
I don't know. Okay, Gabe, you can say your piece, then I'll mention a little bit more. So go ahead, do your prediction and your thoughts on the match.
So I mean, I'm in the same boat with Brandon. I think Io. I think Io should take it, and I'll predict with her. And I think Io's gonna pin Rhea, and then after the third count has been called from the ref, Charlotte breaks it, but she's too late. And then eventually, I think they'll just rivalry towards either I guess Raw, since everyone is watching Raw. So I think they're gonna keep it going. I guess like you said, SummerSlam, and I hope Rhea can end the feud with a win, and then go straight for Asuka, because that would be killer. So I think Io could win that way.
Yeah, it could be something like Charlotte's got Rhea in the figure 8, and Io does the moonsault and has Rhea pinned, and it's 1, 2, 3.
That would be a good finish.
That's another good finish. Yeah,
that would be a great finish, actually.
And then it's like Charlotte was so close from being Rhea and winning the title, and then it's just like Io gets out of their mind, and they just continue to feud like that, and that's how they move on from.
Yeah, so I think this is I think Io should definitely win this one.
She should. But does that mean she will? That's the thing. That's my point.
Another thing for Charlotte, she's been on Raw and SmackDown a good amount of times lately with the NXT belt. I feel like they want to keep her on those shows and not so much on NXT as much as we thought she was gonna be.
Yeah.
So,
but they just moved her there. They just moved her there. You think they're gonna pull the? You think they're just gonna cancel it just like that soon? I mean, they could, but. I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt it, boys. I doubt it. This is Charlotte Flair we're talking about here. You know, they just brought her.
I want her to stay in NXT longer, but they're still using her on mainstream TV. It's just weird.
Well, NXT is mainstream TV. It's on USA.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think they both go up. And again, remember, before all this happened, before Io got into this mix, she was a heel. She can go quickly back to a heel, and you can have her and Mia Yim.
She should be a babyface. She's... Like, at least make her like Balor, where she can face both and be like a tweener.
Yeah, that's what I think she'll be. But, I mean, you have really... Like, she has a great variety of matches, which she can do. She could take Mia Yim. She could take Tegan Nox. She could take Dakota Kai. Like, there's depth in that NXT division where if Charlotte and Rhea leave for good, I don't think it's going to hurt the division.
That's not going to hurt the division.
Definitely.
No, NXT's women's division is probably one of the strongest out of
solid.
any brand on television. That's including Raw, SmackDown, and of course AEW. And that's the weakest part of Dynamite and AEW is their women's division, in my opinion. Which is not an issue with NXT. NXT's women's division is, I would say, among the best in the world. At least best in.
I think that's where it all started in WWE. NXT's women's division.
And honestly, we haven't seen Scarlett debut.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah. Ooh. There's another woman added to the division, so I think they're...
Do you think she's going to compete, or is she just going to be a valet for a while?
Well, I think she'll be a valet for a while.
Yeah, I think she's going to compete, but I think they're going to do a lot of performance training with her before they bring her in, because they want her to be as high as her husband.
Yeah, I think she hasn't really... I don't even know any, good matches with Scarlett Bordeaux. I think she's going to be in the same picture as, what's her name?
Zelina Vega, right?
Zelina Vega, there we go, yep.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Just bring her in when it's, needed, in the ring.
So you guys are 100% sticking with Io actually finally winning that belt that she deserves?
She deserves it.
I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it. This is just Io Shirai in an NXT Women's Championship match. Whenever that happens... She never wins. Shayna Baszler retained the whole time, the whole feud.
She didn't lose the ladder match either.
Yeah, that's true.
So
ladder match, and then she what's it called? She challenged Charlotte, and she didn't lose that match technically.
But that was done to bring Rhea Ripley back into the women's title picture. It was done to set up this match.
But Io still didn't look weak at all. So
and
that's why I believe Io will win.
Every time Io is in a women's title match, the next day or that night, oh my God, did you see her in that match? She was fantastic. She always gets the good comments of that match.
Oh, she does get the good comments, but where's the wins? Is my point. Where's the wins?
This is going to be the win.
I doubt it, gents.
You have the two biggest girls, honestly, in the NXT division. This would be her.
And the best part is, it's believable if she wins too. I can believe that she beats Charlotte and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. That's in my opinion, the best part.
And my thing, if she doesn't win this, move her up to SmackDown because there's nothing else for her to do.
Yeah, she's got nothing else if she loses. So
it's a win-win, I guess, for Io. You can say.
I wish I had your guys' optimism, but I don't. So I think she should win. I think that's the proper booking decision, but I don't see Charlotte leaving NXT, and I don't see her dropping the belt this quick.
If she loses this match, then that's it. I don't think she'll win any other match after this with a title belt.
So so basically this should have the last chance gimmick that the main event's gonna have, right? Io's last chance for the NXT Women's title, I guess.
That's
how you guys feel?
It feels, in my opinion, because what's next after that, In NXT, at least.
Well, here we go. It's another championship match where it's 2-1. My co-hosts are sticking with Io winning the belt and the title changing hands, and I'm sticking with the champ by hook or crook retaining her title. But anyway, your guys' opinion on the actual match itself should be one of the best matches of the show, correct? Given who's involved.
This is definitely going to be a great match.
Oh yeah,
Rhea and Charlotte, they already threw the house down in WrestleMania, and
with nobody.
Io to the mix. Yeah, with nobody too.
And Io can fly around the ring. So.
Oh my God, Io. Yeah, I loved this triple threat.
Yes, I have very high expectations for it on paper, so that should be definitely one of the highlights of the show. And I mean, if I'm wrong and Io wins, believe me, boys, I will be happy to be wrong about that prediction. It's not that I'm saying I don't think Io shouldn't win, right?
This will be match of the night.
Yeah, I'm torn. It's either Lee Gargano or this. in my opinion. Either one of the two.
Gargano's another good, like...
Those are my opinions for what's going to be the two best matches of the show. This match and the North American Championship bout.
The best storytelling match will probably be Ciampa and Kross.
Yeah, that's going to be...
Oh, yeah, but that's going to be a different type of style of match, right? So...
Yeah.
So now we're going to move on to what I'm assuming is going to be the main event, given that it's a championship defense of a 1-year plus title reign, baby! And that's Adam Cole defending the NXT title against Velveteen Dream in Velveteen's last chance in a backlot brawl. What does that mean? Tune in to Takeover to find out, because we don't know. I guess it's gonna be like some sort of like parking lot, or I assume like.
I honestly think it's a waste of a match, and I'm gonna say it because Adam Cole, you've seen what he's done against Gargano, the 3 times. You've seen what he's done against Ciampa.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen what he's done against Riddle on NXT TV. Mm-hmm. Dream's had good matches against Black.
They've all had great matches, so why not in a match?
Why not put this in the ring? I think it's
so weird, yeah.
Okay, so okay, I'm gonna defend it. So, have you guys ever like hear about like when John Cena was coming up and he had this like I don't know if this is old. I mean, old now, but like he had this parking lot brawl with Eddie Guerrero on SmackDown. I don't know if you guys ever seen that footage. That's something pretty memorable from John Cena's career, right? And it was a big win for him. There have been like empty arena type brawls with The Rock and Mankind, where like it's basically like this is like a Falls Count Anywhere match, is what it's gonna be, and it's just it might not be taking place in the ring, but like with you seen how the NXT crew put together the Boneyard match, right? So this is the same crew putting this thing together, which is probably gonna be the main event for their biggest championship. I don't think you should write it off right away just because it's not taking place inside the squared circle.
Oh no, I'm not writing it off. I just feel like it just makes the most sense in a wrestling ring.
Yeah. If you want to do something where it's no DQ, just make it a no holds barred match and start it in the ring.
Right. So because you say so, like doing these like extra edited matches are good when there's no titles involved. You don't think that should be the thing crossed.
Yeah, you're not gonna. I guarantee you probably won't see the Panama Sunrise from Cole, which is one of his extraordinary. You're not gonna.
But you've seen it in every match, so who cares if it's not in this one?
Yeah, but I know. But I'm saying you're not gonna see a whole lot of moves that are gonna go, oh wow, it's gonna be to me a far-fetched match, which it shouldn't for these two guys, because in ring ability they can steal the show.
Yeah, well, Cole can. I don't know, but Velveteen seemed kind of off since he's come back. I haven't seen one fantastic performance in him since he returned. I don't know what's going on there. But...
And the other thing is when you put a backlot match in as the main event, you automatically think it's 4-on-1 because obviously the Undisputed Era is going to get involved.
I assume so, but like maybe there's a way at the beginning where like Dexter Lumis and a few other people find a way to trap them and lock them in wherever, and Cole is left to face Dream all by himself, and he finally pays for every sin he's had in this championship reign. I mean, when the babyface is given the last chance for the title, very rarely. I can't even remember the last time it happened where the last chance actually.
Cody in AEW.
But that wasn't his last chance. He just said if he failed, he wouldn't challenge for the belt again. He didn't have a previous opportunity.
But again, if he loses Velveteen Dream, it's only when Adam Cole could lose 3 weeks after this takeover event.
So so I mean there are a few options if Cole retains. Okay, so the previously mentioned Finn Balor I think would be the prime person to put against Adam Cole if he's to retain here. I think that would be the person to go with going forward. If Keith Lee loses the North American title, you could potentially put him up against Adam Cole.
Yeah, but I have him and Finn Balor on NXT TV for a contender shot.
Yeah, but I don't know. Again, I'm sticking with him being with the North American title and having a long reign with that belt, so I don't see him leaving that title picture. So Balor is really the only person I could see moving up and being slotted against Adam Cole in the main event title picture going forward, and then that's really it. Whereas, like, I don't know, I mean, Velveteen getting who would why isn't it more important? Here's my point. Isn't it more important for Velveteen to beat the guy who's held the belt for longer than anybody else in history? Wouldn't that be a big deal for Velveteen Dream to do that?
Okay, well, here's my thing about it. So, okay, so there's rumors about Adam Cole leaving for AEW because he's not resigning right now for some reason. So I feel like to persuade Adam Cole, is to just keep the belt on him and just I feel like Velveteen Dream winning right now is also I mean it'll make sense, but I feel like he still deserves that audience because Velveteen Dream is.
I don't want to throw politics in, but like BLM boys is like.
Oh,
Like I thought Velveteen had a great chance before all this shit went down, but for diversity's sake, now going into this show, I don't know. I'm thinking Dream's gonna win this thing, boys.
But there's been a lot of rumors.
Well, here's the thing:
a lot of rumors that he's going up.
Velveteen?
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors. It first was reported Matt Riddle, and then a few hours later it was Vince McMahon's high on Velveteen Dream and wants him on Raw.
Well, my thing is this storyline, I guess, race driven?
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, so I don't think BLM would, move towards Velveteen.
No, but it's just the
belts.
WWE's like public image of them giving a black athlete a big championship like that during this time makes them look good.
Yeah, but I mean, if Keith Lee retains.
But that's the secondary title.
Yeah.
So it's not like the main championship.
I think if Velveteen wins, I honestly think it's going to be a poor display of him holding the belt because the only heel that's going to go after him is probably Kross.
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to bump him up into the championship.
Yeah, but who would be next for Dream? Who's the next big heel to take him on?
Just weird for Dream to win the belt.
I don't know if Gargano loses to Keith Lee, you could put him against Dream. There's heels.
I honestly don't see him winning. I see him being back in the title picture. I think it'll be like Johnny Gargano and Ciampa. I think he'll be in the title picture all the time. I just don't think he'll be winning this time. I think it's going to be Adam Cole, and then Cole's going to get in a feud with somebody else, lose, and then you'll see Dream bolster back up.
Okay, so if Cole retains, who actually beats him for the belt?
I personally think it's Karrion Kross. I think.
Why? So you think it's a heel is going to take the belt from the longest reigning heel?
I'm thinking. Okay, you go first, Braden.
So the way I think it is Adam Cole can go. Not saying he's going to go to a face. He's still going to stay a heel, but I think it's going to be almost like a Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, right? Because Braun Strowman's in the middle always face and heel. He's either or. Right? When he faces, Bray Wyatt, he's a face. If he faces, Roman Reigns, he's kind of a heel. I think Adam Cole's going to be in that mix when it comes to Kross's turn. And I think it's just going to be more story-driven and hype to the main event.
Well, my thing for Karrion, though, I think it's still too early for him in the title picture. Like, I think he still needs to, kill people first, no pun intended. But, he's just, not at the title picture yet.
But I think what Brandon's saying is that he can do that, and then Cole just fuddles around with whoever, whether he goes to Balor or somebody. Yeah. And then by the fall time, like they did with The Fiend and Seth Rollins, by, November, Kross beats Cole after Cole's had a really long reign.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You think that the next takeover is in August, right?
Yeah, but it'll be August. They want to do it SummerSlam weekend still. Apparently, they haven't scrapped it.
But it's August, so you think after now we probably have 2 more months of NXT TV. He could take out Fish. He could take out O'Reilly. He could take out Roddy. He could probably take out Johnny Gargano if like you said, Gabe, if Tommaso goes back to Gargano.
Well, and if he's killing all the Undisputed Era guys, he's definitely going to be positioned as the fan favorite killer. People are going to cheer for that over Adam Cole defending the belt. I mean, Cole's not going to be the babyface if that's how you're going to book the guy. Yeah. If he's a killer, the fans are going to cheer for the killer going after the year-long champion.
But my thing is the Undisputed Era has always been when Imperium came in and attacked them. And at Worlds Collide before Worlds Collide,
right?
They were running off or attacking Imperium and running off, and they were scared when Imperium came for them. I think they're going to do a sort of thing like Killer Kross, right? Kross's persona is he's this big giant. He's got a scary entrance, and I think they're going to be afraid of it, and they're going to do a story like that. But I think it's going to go on for. Honestly, I think it would start maybe a couple weeks after this takeover and go on till whenever SummerSlam weekend is.
Don't forget that Adam Cole, he may not resign, so. with
Yeah, that's
NXT.
true.
So if he don't resign and they haven't negotiated, I'd say that's even more reason that he drops the belt on Sunday.
Probably
Yeah,
not now because they want him to resign. So that probably him holding the belt is a good way to persuade him to stay in NXT. So if anything, if he's really not going to resign, they're going to drop it like I guess SummerSlam.
But no,
Because
seriously.
I think August is when his contract expires.
Seriously though, if he doesn't resign and goes to AEW, AEW's won a battle.
I don't know. I mean,
That'd be really awesome. Not gonna lie.
Holy jeez,
That would
AEW
ignite the Wednesday Night Wars in my opinion.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, I mean,
their
it would.
top contender, their top champion going straight to Dynamite. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's just if that does happen, Adam just sees the writing on the wall and just knows if he gets called up, he ain't going to be used properly. So he's saying, I'll bide my time in NXT, contract expire, go to a company that'll actually use me properly despite my size, is what he's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
I mean, the funny part is he's not even being misused in NXT.
In NXT, he's not, but, like, he knows he ain't going to be staying on that brand forever.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess that's why he's not resigning.
I mean, look at Matt Riddle. He went up to SmackDown. They had to bring him up because he wanted more money, and the more money goes with going to the bigger brands because it's got more. I mean, they get bigger television deals for Raw and SmackDown than they do for NXT, even though NXT's on the same network as Raw. They get bigger money for those shows, so the talent gets paid more. If like Adam to get more money, he knows like he'd have to go to Raw or SmackDown. But you know how Vince is with quote guys he thinks look small. And I guess maybe he's thinking that after NXT, Dynamite's the way to go because he might be used better there.
And the funny thing is O'Reilly Fish have the same contract that ends in August as well. So
3-year deals, eh? Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, the thing is they're all best friends in real life. O'Reilly, Fish, and Cole, so they go wherever one another goes. So if Cole leaves, oh jeez.
No, they're gonna leave too. It's gonna happen.
This is gonna be great if they leave. Oh, and they go straight to AEW. Wow.
Right after FTR.
Yeah.
Leave and go there.
Oh my god! And then Red Dragon against FTR
Would be great.
Against the Young Bucks.
But not to mention Red Dragon against the Bucks, Red Dragon against Best Friends, Red Dragon against like any team that's there.
Yeah.
A Red Dragon against Omega and Paige.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Gosh.
Adam Cole versus Hangman Page. Adam Cole versus Darby Allin. Adam Cole versus Pac.
Adam Cole versus Cody.
Yeah.
Even Adam Cole versus Kenny Omega. That'd be money. That'd be money.
That's money, yeah, because their rivalry still hasn't really ended from when Cole before he signed with NXT.
Yeah.
So, if we're on this topic, I'm gonna do a double prediction. If Adam Cole doesn't resign, obviously he's not gonna resign before the event. But if he loses, then he's not resigning.
Yeah.
But
even then, actually, even if he wins, you still don't know because then they can have him drop it on the takeover right before his contract expires.
Yeah, but wouldn't you want the next NXT champion to win it at a big event?
You would. That's why I didn't even know Cole was thinking about leaving, but now that I hear he is thinking about leaving, I'm definitely sticking with Velveteen winning on Sunday.
Yeah,
100%. So what about you guys? What's your final prediction for each of you? Starting with you, Brandon.
Well, hearing that Gabe said his contract is up in August and that he hasn't re-signed, I'm probably going to switch to Velveteen.
Well, I'm saying to keep Cole longer, because I'm pretty sure Triple H loves Adam Cole to death.
Yeah.
So I think to persuade Cole to stay longer, I think he's gonna hold the belt a bit longer, and just to be like, hey Adam, just sign the die line, please. And then, if not before SummerSlam, then he's just probably gonna drop it by a takeover around that time. So I think Adam Cole's gonna win it because his contract is expiring.
But wouldn't keeping the belt on him past that really want to make him stay? So if they're going to make him keep the belt until that last takeover and they take it off of him in August, what do you re-sign for?
Exactly.
Yeah,
he has all
true.
this time to re-sign. So if he's not going to re-sign by August, they're probably going to drop
I guess so.
They're going to drop it by then.
I guess so.
Honestly don't think it's going to be to keep the title on him. I think it's going to be what money is, because money talks now. So I think it's going to be I think it's going to be, hey, AEW offered me this much, can you match it?
Oh, and they can.
Yeah.
We'll see if they want to, but
AEW offered me this much, and they're gonna put me in the title picture within a month.
Well, this
what
morning,
are you gonna offer me?
This morning on a news video I saw, I think there was a tweet from Britt Baker talking about how great the AEW family is, and it'd be great to have one big happy family again, Bay. So that's just, I guess that's just saying, like, is it really money though? Because you can really just be happy at AEW.
And they're not even engaged yet. So AEW, that just could solidify things with them more. So
yeah, and I heard Britt Baker's also banned from NXT events too because of that zoom in.
Yep.
So I think Adam Cole's gonna leave, in my opinion. So, but to make him stay longer, they're gonna keep the belt on him.
Well, Gabe, you changed my pick to Dream. So if Adam Cole wins, I'm gonna be kind of upset.
I think he's gonna win.
Yeah, I see Dream taking the belt from him finally in his last chance.
Interesting 2-1, gentlemen. Interesting 2-1.
Yes, for once I was able to persuade somebody to be on my side for the champion retaining, because everybody seems to be going for fucking title changes.
Brandon away from me.
Yeah. I mean, I was sticking with Dream because of BLM, because it's his last chance after he lost his previous opportunity. And now that I've heard that Adam Cole is maybe on the way out, I'm 100% that's reinforcing my prediction. So, yes, interesting show. It should be quite, it's going to be great no matter what. It's been a long time since we've had a takeover. So I am going to be totally invested. I always enjoy these things. They really... Along with the AEW pay-per-views, they just bring me this level of joy as a wrestling fan that pretty much very few things do these days. So it's just got that takeover magic. And now we're going to swing it to the cheapest of plugs, I like to call. Starting with you, Gabe. And Brandon, you can decide if you have anything to plug. You can mention it after him. But I know Gabe always got a little something to mention before we go off the air. So shoot now, Gabe.
Just something. My latest video on my main YouTube channel, Nozid, Nozid, I did a rock, paper, scissors tournament. That is, my opinion, the best video I have ever produced. It's all just unscripted rock, paper, scissors with rapper gimmicks. So it's a great time to watch. Other than that, watch out for either Dynamite or Dark. I don't know which one, but someone very close to me is gonna be in that show very soon. I can't tell you who because well, here's the story. Ortiz was texted from this close friend of mine, and Ortiz was like, okay, here, email QT Marshall and we'll see what happens. So I was able to help this wrestler type up a really convincing email. And apparently QT Marshall says it's okay for my friend to be on, I don't know which one yet, but AEW, Dark, or Dynamite, we'll see.
It's huge.
That's really big news, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I found out during the podcast, so yeah.
There you go. My plug is NBA got solidified. They're back July 31st. I know you guys are beat. No?
What's that?
I don't know. I said NBA comes back July 31st. How happy are you?
It comes back, really? So it's going to go to what, through the fall, or like?
Yeah, it goes through July 31st, NBA start of October. New season.
Is there going to be a crowd?
No, I don't think so.
New season doesn't start till December, and the NHL got approved. They're coming back same.
Yes, they're going to be doing a playoff for the summer. So
yeah. So
that'll be interesting.
We've had sports off the last 3 months, but at least we get them back.
We're getting them back, but I assume they're going to be done in front of nobody. It's just the athletes are going to be. But at least we got something to watch. Like, thank God for that.
Exactly.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how I've like sports have been such a staple of the spring that like without them it was it was weird this year, man.
Yeah.
So like.
Well, I mean, I've been watching a lot of soccer, and there's been no fans in them. In the games, and you know how much fans.
I've gotten used to it with wrestling and like fake crowds and plants. So like I seeing just athletes do their thing will be enough, right? Like, at least we're getting to see it. You know, some of the atmosphere is lost, but like at least we get to see it. You know. Yeah,
fans are huge in soccer, and there's nobody in the soccer stadiums, and it's still great to watch. So it's going to be good to have those.
Yeah, because it fills the sports the fix. It fills that need for watching like athletic entertainment, right? So or like just contests. UFC's been doing stuff since the pandemic. And they have a show tomorrow. They have a show tomorrow in Nevada. So Yeah, is there anything else you wanted to plug there, Gabe, or is that pretty much it? Just your big news there?
I mean, other than that, I guess my handles on Twitter and Instagram, Gabe Nozid, GABENOZID, and my wrestling channel where I do podcasts, Nozid Wrestling, and that's about it. Because who knows it? Gabe Nozid.
So okay, if you are one of the wonderful people who have listened to us on Anchor and its associated platforms, you can listen to it. We are available on Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Copy RSS, and the most important one of all, in my opinion, the one that I'm most proud of, is being on Spotify. Woo! Folks, as long as being on Anchor itself. So, like, as I said, I post the link to this podcast on my social media, and it's usually to the link to Anchor, but then Anchor also lists all the other platforms that we are available on. So if you enjoyed this, give it a nice little download, share it, do all that good stuff if you heard us through the audio form. But if you're watching this on YouTube and you've seen the video version and you listened to us and you liked what you heard, please give that lovely little subscribe button a little subscribe, if you will, because we do these podcasts every once in a while, usually for big four WWE shows and bigger B pay-per-views like Money in the Bank, all AEW pay-per-views, as well as every NXT Takeover that happens. We do predictions and reviews for those said shows, and when the news is actually really big, which it's been kind of not so big lately after the big mass firing, and congratulations to Drake Maverick winning a contract this week.
There's some controversy on that.
I know there's tons of controversy, but it is what it is.
Hire the other 19 people, and I'm like, oh.
But, so congratulations to him on getting fired and rehired in the span of a storyline that made a bunch of people sympathetic. So good for him on taking advantage of that and all that good stuff. It's always good to see somebody stay and have work to continue to do. But that is it for us today, ladies and gents. So we are going to Spanish fly on out of here. We're going to enjoy TakeOver this weekend. We'll see you next time, folks.